So,
they have a proven formula, track record, and, they definitely will help you and get you where you want to go. Absolutely. They're the real deal. So that's what I would recommend.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode on the Dynamic Lifestyle Podcast. Solo round time again, right? Two weeks in a row, Chris. What's going on with this?
Why is it we do that? Why don't we do like 4 or 5 interviews and then we'll do
I don't know.
2 solo rounds?
You're the one that says we need to do more solo rounds.
Well, I think the listeners need to tell us first we need to do more solo rounds, so we need more feedback from you guys. You guys want to hear more
I remember that, but I remember we did a survey too, and the listeners did say do more solo rounds between myself and you. They enjoy the humor, they enjoy the practical applications. So maybe we just have to deliver more of that.
I love the rawness, the upfrontness, authenticity.
All that stuff.
Maybe the people we're interviewing, maybe they're holding back a little bit. Maybe they're sensing that,
Maybe, who knows? But anyways, on a side note, how are you? How are you this week?
Good. I'm excited about what we have coming up, which we'll talk about in a little bit right now. And then excited to go back home, see mom, and older bro, and
And then the 4th of July will be in a couple days after this podcast is released, and then we'll be heading home to Northern California, back up to beautiful wine country to visit family and take a little break, I say.
And our birthday, end of the month, so.
Oh, don't remind me about that.
And it's funny too, because by the time this comes out, we're getting into Q3, so 2 quarters are down in 2019. We got 2 more to go, and as soon as you know it, man, holidays be around the corner, Halloween, Thanksgiving. It's crazy how time flies.
It is. Don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing, but we can't control the time. We just control our actions, and we should be blessed every day that we are here.
100%.
All right. So what are we talking about today?
So today we're going to be talking about building a hybrid model for fitness coaching.
Okay. And why? Why are we talking about that today?
Well, that's what I was saying. I'm excited about is we're actually putting on our first workshop, your 3X Your Personal Training Business Workshop in Newport, July 20th. And I'm excited about that because it's the first one that we're doing this year. We kind of took that first 1 or 2 quarters off, because we're working on other stuff. But I think it's time to bring it back because we had really good success with it in 2018. We did 3 of them, actually 4. So I'm excited about that. I love doing those workshops, and I'm excited more about this one because we're putting a different angle on it to where it's helping out personal trainers and even a small gym owner. So I'm looking to do a hybrid model with in-person personal training and online personal training as well, which I think is super, super important for if you're a fitness enthusiast, fitness pro right now, personal trainer or an online coach or a small gym owner, that you guys really think about the hybrid model going forward with everything because it makes so much sense. And that's exactly why we're doing this episode is to just bring awareness to it, give a little bit of value, And
I agree. I'm excited about it too. I just love the whole different angle we're going on. It's because we've done a lot of the workshops, the 3X Your Personal Training business workshops last year. They're all very successful ones. They're all just a great time bringing people in, just giving them value, really just building that community of it. And it was more towards just gearing that toward just like personal trainers going online, right? So it wasn't about the hybrid model. So that's why I'm excited about this because I do see this being the future for a lot of personal trainers, fitness coaches, fitness enthusiasts getting into the coaching realm. I do see this as being the future, and a lot of our inner circle students are currently using this model, how we're teaching them, and they're doing incredible. Right? So, it's like, why not? And we started off with this model way back when we got into personal training to where it's like, it works. It doesn't matter if it was something that was 10 years ago, 10 years later, it still works. And I think going forward, it's going to work because there's the best of both worlds with the hybrid model. So we'll talk more about that. But
just to kind of point, just one thing on that is why it's working so well with our inner circle students is just that we actually are honing down on first their in-person personal training, right? First, so we're kind of covering that, making sure that's all good. And there's 3 areas you really want to maximize the most. If you're a personal trainer or even a small gym owner, is really nail down your pricing, nail down your memberships, and nail down your billing cycle. If you got all 3 of those different elements really nailed down, and you have really good prices, they make sense. The memberships really make sense. The packages, unraveling everything that you have to offer, and value stacking that. And then the third part is the billing cycle. The billing cycle, play around with that too, because there's some really cool things you can do with that too, like billing, weekly or bi-weekly or 28-day cycles instead of, monthly. So that's what we're working on with like the personal trainers. I think they're having a lot of success with it because they're nailing down that first, and then it's easier to sit there and build that hybrid towards like, let's go online now since we have that foundation built right there with it in person.
I agree. I love it. So I want to take the listeners back in a time machine really quick and tell a couple stories about how we actually started this hybrid model and how it was actually very successful. So I want to take you guys back 10 years ago when Chris and I first got into fitness coaching. We got our certifications, all that. We were pumped up. We were, really into bodybuilding, just the meal prepping, the magazines.
Eric had that vision of standing on Mr. Olympia.
We had to eat 8 meals per day, all that jazz. But no.
Real quick funny story, I gotta tell them this. Remember like that time we used to train at 24-Hour Fitness and we bring like white bread and protein shake right in Ziploc bags, and literally right when we were done with that last bicep curl and set and rep, we'd run over and just like slam down that shake and eat that bread because we thought that the white bread was as fast, complex carbohydrate source is faster than wheat for some reason, and it got into the bloodstream quicker and resynthesize glycogen, and then you pound the shake because it puts our body in an anabolic state. We can't wait.
Yeah, we thought we were going to miss the anabolic window. Oh gosh, good times. So back to my story. So 10 years ago, after we got our certifications to be personal trainers, we definitely wanted to get in the trenches to be personal trainers, and we started off at a mom and pop's gym, right, back home in Roanoke Park, California. And it was an independent gym, so it was the independent trainer route, which that's what I preferred, and I always wanted to start off as. I never really wanted to start, working for a big box gym, which I'm not slamming that or anything, but that's the route we went. And then, we saw the vision after, hiring, Lane Norton. I think it was like about a year after that where he was doing online coaching with us, right? So that's where we kind of had that big epiphany. We had that light bulb moment towards like, okay, we can do this too. There's 2 of us. We have enough education. We've learned from a great mentor in Lane. It's like, why not do this? Why not take some of these personal training clients that we're working with in person and use them almost as like guinea pigs, to see if the online coaching model works. So we did that. We did that with a handful of clients, and it was awesome. It was very successful. I think a lot of our clients just even wanted to stay more towards the online route because they ended up moving. They ended up going to college, travel, all that stuff, to where it just made more sense. But it was cool because we tested it. Once we were doing, a significant amount of just in-person training, to where we're like, let's try that. Let's try the hybrid model. Let's take some of these clients, port them over to the online side, and it worked out very well, right? So then let's say fast forward 7 years after that, right? When we moved to Orange County, and we built that gym studio in our garage, right? $10,000 gym studio in the garage because we wanted to go back to that hybrid model, and more importantly, we wanted to sit there and rent that gym out to independent trainers, right, for another revenue stream. So we had a lot of plans for that, but our dreams were shattered. And if you read our book, The New Era of Fitness, we talk more about that story as to why those dreams were shattered. But
we tested it a little bit too there.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I was getting to that point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Gosh, Chris, well, we're rushing.
No, like, shoot, you better add that in.
I'm just kidding.
Make sure to say that.
We did. We tested that for about 6 months. Like I said, we had a handful of clients that were training in person in the garage, and we still had. Gosh, that was when our online business was just like ridiculously just like booming. At the peak where we just had like, I want to say like 40 to 50 clients each. Like it's not. I don't think that was a good thing. It was just too much. It was very overwhelming.
Yeah, I don't want people to think it was like 40 to 50 clients paying like 20, 30, 40, or $100 a month. It was not that. It was some pretty good prices.
Exactly. So, I mean, on top of that, with doing the online coaching with that amount of clients and then the in-person clients, it was very overwhelming. But at the same time, I really enjoyed it because you got the best of both worlds, right? You got to interact with people in person. You got that human communication. Then you got to take a break and go on the computer, do programming, do the video thing for check-ins. So it was great. It was a great model, the hybrid model. So that's why, I'm such a big proponent in it, and that's why I'm teaching it to my clients now. So those are my 2 stories that I want to talk about.
Yeah, and then just another thing too, like kind of add to why this hybrid model is so important for personal trainers and gym owners too. It's just that the way you got to look at it is a lot of your clients, they're not always going to stay kind of local. For example, like a lot of like smaller gyms here in California, I'm sure it's expensive to have a gym space and overhead and all that stuff, to where like they're barely probably profiting at the end of the month or year, and the reason is because it's expensive living in California. So to have some space, for a small gym, it's no joke. And a lot of people that are their clients at these small gyms are actually moving. I just got off the phone, with a gym owner in Thousand Oaks. They have 150 members there, and he said he lost 10 of his members the past 2 months because they moved out of California because job relocation or wanting to live somewhere where the cost of living is cheaper, right? So that was his issue. Was like, shoot, I just lost like over $1,000, probably $1,500, I think he said. And that's a big chunk as a small gym owner in California. So that's why I told him, I was like, dude, if you would have had a hybrid model, an online component, those clients could have sat there and still be retained in your ecosystem, and you could have charged them, for an online training program, whatever that is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's a great point. That's why we're advocating and bringing awareness to this today, because there's still people that don't believe in the online model. They still don't.
Yeah.
They're still very just black and white thinking, closed-minded to it, to where it's like they don't see where the future's going with all the technology, to where it's like people don't have a lot of time to get, go to a gym, drive in traffic, priorities. So, some people, there's a lot of people out there that are going to just want that online coaching. That's it, and then that's the beauty of it, where it's like you still have the in-person stuff, which still works as well too.
Yeah.
So,
and the thing is too, is like not everybody, like there's a certain point where it's like, I think you should have a personal trainer, right? Like once you get down, like all of those basic movement patterns, for maybe 8 to 12 weeks, and after that, you don't always have to have a personal trainer if you're self-motivated and you can sit there and actually work out on your own, But some people still like, maybe that personal trainer's, personality, his programming style. So maybe they want the online thing from him. And why can't you give them, that? He can definitely design them a program. He can do videos to where they're still kind of mentally pushing them through the videos on their phone. They can pop up at the gym these days. Also too, like with culture and community with these small gym owners, right? We had a call, I think like 2 weeks ago, and he was saying that that's what his members like. That's how he got his members so high, was because of the culture, the community they built. And whenever they leave, they always say that they can't find a gym that has that same culture or community, right? And that's a huge downfall, because fitness is a huge part of people's lives and they relocate or travel. So it's like, if you can have an online portal, whether you're a personal trainer or a small gym owner, and still keep that community, that culture, whatever it is they fell in love with, outside of the whole fitness aspect of it, you can still do that online.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. And that's why you should think about the hybrid model, because you're letting clients fall through the cracks. You want to retain them. At the end of the day, if you're a gym owner, you're a personal trainer, your number one goal is to retain clients.
Yeah,
lifetime value of the customer.
Exactly. Love it. So if someone were to ask, well, who is this hybrid model for? Who would you say, right? I would say it's really geared towards, independent trainers, right? So I don't want to sit there and discourage other trainers that are working at like big box gyms, like commercial gyms, like 24 Fitness, Equinox, LA Fitness, Gold's Gym, because they can still do that, right? It's just a little bit trickier. So I'm always going to advocate, if you are, working for a gym like that, try to go to an independent gym, right, where you have more flexibility. And I'll talk about this in a minute, why the pros to this hybrid model. But I truly think that the ones that are going to really capitalize on this is the independent trainers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and I agree. And this might piss people off, but I mean, I think the person that does the independent training at these gyms, and has their own clientele, sets their own prices, their own models, does their own billing, everything like that, their own marketing, that's the hungrier trainer. That's probably going to have more success and have the more potential to build a hybrid. You know what I mean? Because they're not getting funneled all those clients from other people. Like I said, some people don't take it offensive. I'm just telling you guys how I feel. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong, but I've seen it kind of with our students and stuff like that. Who's the hunger trainer? And when somebody is an independent trainer and they're doing all those things for themselves, their likelihood to succeed with the hybrid model and go online is a lot higher.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it's funny because I was writing this article last night that I was cranking it out. I felt like I haven't written an article in ages. But I wrote the article, the article about, which one is better, like, in person or online coaching. And I said right out of the gates that neither is better, right? They both have their own, superpowers to it, and they're both it almost comes down to personal preference. So what I wanted to do in that article was to shed some light as to the importance of building a hybrid, where things are going, how you can create more revenue streams. So I want to list off like some of the pros, right? Because everyone's thinking, oh, there's got to be pros and cons to a hybrid model, right? So I'm going to list off the pros to building a hybrid model of in-person and online coaching, because I can't remember all these.
Okay, really quick, guys.
Yeah.
So Eric has me always proofread his articles, and I'm gonna have to proofread this one because he sent me an email, and I'm almost like I can almost bet money that he has like probably 100 exclamation points in the article.
Yeah.
He's good at just putting exclamation points at each sentence, like he's really upset or he's like trying to get the point across. As the reader, I'm just like, dude, this is annoying. Like
and bolding too. I'm really bolding things.
He's secretly a copywriting ninja.
Okay, so let's jump into all the pros for building a hybrid model. So you automatically have 2 revenue streams, right? That's always a good thing.
Yeah.
Why would you want, the whole key is to build more revenue streams, to become wealthier, to have more time, more freedom, think about your future. So right there, when you build a hybrid model, you have 2 revenue streams right there.
And that's exactly why we host like these workshops, right?
Exactly.
And why it's named 3X your personal training workshop. Like, we're not saying 10X.
Yeah,
like all these
exactly.
people out there, 10X your business, 20X your business.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're saying just 3X. We're looking just to build 1 or 2 revenue streams with it. So if you do a hybrid model like this, and you come to our workshop, you're going to learn how to build that other revenue stream to have 2 revenue streams.
Exactly.
3X your business.
Exactly. And then you can work remotely with your online clients, right? So you don't have to be stuck in the gym for 8 to 10 hours. That's the beauty of it. You can work in person with your clients, and you can have that face-to-face communication, right? Which is fucking awesome, as I mentioned. You can set your own prices, within your coaching business, stack your own prices as to what you want to offer. You could even do group coaching, which is amazing. Again, you set your own hours with your in-person clients, where you don't have a boss telling you when to come, clock out, do the split shift. So that's awesome. You can take on as many clients as you want, whether it's in person or online. So that's totally up to you. Another good, pro is you will get more referrals from both sides of those coaching business, right? If you really treat people well, get them results, give them a good customer experience, they're going to refer you online and in person, right? The other thing is you're actually developing a community with both coaching sides, whether it's online or in person. Obviously, the in person, it's more powerful because it's in person. You can do local meetups and stuff, but still, you're building 2 tribes from around the world and right there, where you're at in your city, which is amazing. After that, you're keeping both of your skill sets sharp as a trainer, right? Because they are different skill sets when it comes to online coaching and in-person coaching. So I think they're both amazing. And then most importantly, you're helping, double the people and impacting more lives. You really, really are. Yeah. So those are all the pros that I came up with to building a hybrid model. And I couldn't literally think of like any cons. I really couldn't. And I'm just not trying to do that because I'm favoring this, but I just couldn't.
Let me add one more though.
Yeah.
Those are really good, and I agree with a lot on pretty much all of those. But the last one is going back to what you said is you develop 2 communities, in person and online, right? So once you have those 2 communities established, especially the online one, let's say that one goes really well for you in the hybrid model, then that opens up doors to open up other revenue streams as far as a continuity program,
Yeah.
Membership area, maybe. You do some sort of do-it-yourself type of program where you charge one time and everything's automated. Maybe you do like an e-class or something like that. There's so many different like little mini revenue streams within starting that hybrid model that you can start doing after that if you build that base and build the communities online and in person, because those are your clients. And with those people, you can start off with asking for referrals. That's your best bet instead of having to go out there and spend shitloads of money like on advertising and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I'll throw another one in. So like with our inner circle student Juan, right? So he's like flooded with like in-person clients, right? To where he can't take on anymore. So now he's actually having other clients around him in the gym that he's working at asking for his clients and for him to refer.
Trainers.
Yeah, trainers, sorry. Yeah, other trainers are asking for him to give him clients. So he's making a profit and a commission off, funneling and sending, clients to other trainers. Again, it's another revenue stream.
Yeah, and the other big like limiting belief I always hear is like, oh no, I'm starting my in-person training first.
Yeah.
It's like why does one have to be built like this proper textbook, or like there's this rule to where it's like you have to build the base one first and then the online? Why can't you build them both?
Because people think small.
You know
They
what I
don't
mean?
think big
So it's
enough.
like why can't you set yourself up for the long term of the online one? Why can't you split test it like a lot of people do successfully? Split test. Which one are you going to build faster, the in person or the online?
Yeah, it's fear and
I
playing
hate
small.
that excuse every time I hear it. I'm building my in-person one first, then I'm going to go online later. And I'm telling you right now, you keep putting stuff on the back burner, waiting. There's other people that are hungrier. They're going to pass your ass up, and then you're going to look back and you're going to be like, it's too late. I'm sorry, it's too late. I've seen it happen a lot of times, man. So it's like, if you're listening, if you're a personal trainer, you're a gym owner, fitness professional, you guys should hop on this right now with the hybrid model. Seriously, don't keep waiting. Seriously, the longer you guys wait, the longer you guys are going to procrastinate. You guys are going to lose those creative juices. It's not an on or off switch where you're just going to be like, oh, I'm going to just start building the online thing. You know what I mean? If you have it right now, if you're thinking about it, then do both at the same time. Just erase that limiting belief to where you can't sit there and do both at the same time. Set yourself up for the long term. Like Eric said, play big.
Exactly. Whew, man.
I don't know. It just fires me up.
Chris is fired up on that last segment. But okay, so even to add to that, if you are very confused as to how to even get started with something like this, that's why we have these workshops that we're doing, right? So we're having this workshop, 3X Your Personal Training Business, geared towards how do you build a hybrid model of in-person and online training, right? So that will be July 20th from 10 to 1, tons of value. I promise you will leave with some light bulbs, a game plan to think about, and so much more. You'll meet like-minded people. You have nothing to lose by coming to a seminar like that. So that's why, if you're in the area within Southern California, make the drive. If you guys know anybody, hell, if you want to fly out, come fly out to the event. And there's plenty to do on a weekend in Southern California. We're only asking for 3 hours of your time. So definitely check out our workshop, and we'll have that plugged in the show notes for more information.
Let me go back to one more limiting belief.
Yes, go for it.
I keep thinking about this. I have to get this out. The other one is, I don't have any money to sit there and start my online side of the business. So that's why I'm going to focus 100% in person. That's fine, okay? Right? Like, first of all, number one, it doesn't take $50,000 for you to build your online fitness coaching business. It doesn't, right? It's going to cost a little bit of money. I'm not going to lie. Okay, if you're going to do it the right way, and you're going to sit there and avoid all these loopholes and losing a bunch of money through mistakes. Okay, it's going to cost a little bit of money. But the other thing is, if you don't have a lot of money to invest in like an online business, like getting a mentor and the right systems and processes, and maybe a little bit of like money for like ads and stuff like that to get you going, then sit there and train a little bit more people in person. Like make a little bit extra money, change your prices around where you can make more money, so that you can sit there and look at this as personal development to grow your business and yourself, and then invest in the online side of it, right?
Yeah.
But you can still do this at the same time. It doesn't have to be like, well, I'm going to do the in-person for 1 full year, then I'm going to switch it on, and then do the hybrid model because now I have money all of a sudden, right? So just be resourceful. There's other ways around it. Trust me, there really is. It's just about how bad you truly want it, how hungry you are, and how you can sit there and seek, help and guidance and be resourceful. At the end of the day, just have that fucking tenacity, like to be able to build both of those businesses.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I fully agree with that. So another question, the listeners might be wondering is, okay, this sounds great. The hybrid model. I'm convinced with you guys. Like, sign me up. How do I get a hybrid model started today, right? That's the big question. And that's the stuff we're going to be talking about in the workshop. So I want to give some practical applications right now to the listeners, as to how they can get their wheels spinning and just get in the right direction of, moving this hybrid model. And, again, how we talked about not making excuses, right, about starting one or the other. So the first point I can start off with is, really getting clear as to who you want to work with, your ideal clients. And I would definitely say both in person and online, right? Because then it makes things so much easier as to who you want to target and, who you're actually speaking to. right?
Yeah, and the second point would be get very clear on your USP, your unique selling proposition, because what that's going to do is it's going to differentiate you from every single other personal trainer and online coach out there, right? People are going to gravitate towards, what is that unique thing you do? What's that specialty? The example I always like to use is somebody can go to a general practitioner, right? They're going to make, let's say $150,000, $200,000 a year, but what is like a thoracic, orthopedic or specialist going to make? Probably more money at the end of the day because they are specialists. They're specializing in like the heart, the knees, the lungs, whatever it is, right? Open heart surgery. So think about how you can be a specialist and what your unique selling proposition is.
Yeah, you're not just another trainer.
Exactly.
Yeah. The next thing I would say is really get good at creating, badass content, right, on social media. And this is what's funny is people are probably thinking, well, yeah, that's cool and everything. If I'm going to go online, yeah, I get it. I have to provide, good content. Totally wrong, right? Because everybody is on social media. I don't care what anyone says, and it's going to continue to get worse. So even if you are, training people in person, they're still following you. They're still looking for, good content, and they're still seeking people. Let's say even if you're running, some basic ads, they might come across something cool that you put out. So you got to get really good at putting out valuable, intentional, and shareable content, right? Be very clear with your messaging and your content, who you're speaking to. Give some takeaways, give some demonstrations as to, your specialty, as a trainer and how you solve people's problems. Yeah. Really talk about that in your content, and that's how you're going to draw eyeballs, right? Both in person and online with the coaching clients.
Yeah, for sure. And then the fourth tip is create an online coaching application, funnel, and separate yourself from every other trainer out there that's, saying I do online coaching because, I step on stage for the very first time, or, I sit there and get all my DMs and then, I email them. It's just not a legitimate process. It's not, if you want to be taken serious as an online coach, create a legitimate coaching application funnel, and this way it separates yourself from all those other quacks out there that are just trying to make a quick buck. And you're in it for the short term, you're in it for the long term, you're looking to build a sustainable brand that's looking to be around to make more impact, help more people with their health and fitness, and be known going forward. So that's what I would say.
Love it. Next one I would say is when you're building a hybrid model is start creating some sort of a buzz, right? Whether that's to your clients in person, online clients you have. Maybe if you don't have that, start creating that buzz around social media. Start creating it to your newsletter, to your community, right? That you're doing both of these options of in-person and online coaching. That way, they'll have they'll be able to make that decision whether they want to work with you in person or online. So create some buzz around that.
Yep. And then the last one would be just start porting over your in-person clients. If you are an in-person personal trainer and you have a good client load, a good foundation, start porting them over. Start hinting out I have an online platform, and get them to test it out. Take a little beta group of like 5 people and try it out through your 8-week program. Get some social proof, get some testimonials, get the results. And then after that, you can put that out on social media, or even people that are traveling, offer that to them, the online platform. So just start sitting there thinking about how you can pour people into your online platform, a legitimate referral system, stuff like that.
Yeah. Last one I would say is just work hard, play hard, and enjoy the reaps of building a awesome hybrid model within your coaching programs, because once you have that established and you start seeing the possibilities, the revenue streams, how you're impacting lives, the flexibility that you have in your lifestyle, how you're creating a badass lifestyle, it's awesome, and it makes it all worth it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So just to close this up, for me, I really hope that this episode has been really valuable to the listeners, and you guys got some nuggets within this, and more importantly, why we're such big proponents on building this hybrid model, right? If you are a coach or inspiring coach, personal trainer right now, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to forever say, man, you have to do this or blah, blah, blah. It's all personal preference. It really is, as to what you prefer as a practitioner. I truly believe that, because there are some people where they are just very, very good with only working with people in person due to their energy, their charisma, their character. And then there's people that don't have that, right? They're just not good with like face-to-face communication, to where they're very smart. They thrive, with online coaching. So I always tell people just, keep an open mind with it, and try it out if it works for you. If not, no big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. And the last thing I would like to add to that is just like, if you're serious about building this hybrid model, if you're a personal trainer, if you're a small gym owner, if you're a fitness professional, then seek some help. Don't try to do this by yourself, because it goes back to, if you have a mentor, a mentor or a coach is, they're buying you fuel. You know what I mean? Fuel to add to that fire. They collapse that time that it takes for you to sit there and get it done. They save you so much money. Even if you have to pay $5-10 grand for, some sort of mentor or a coach to be able to build this all out for you, teach you how to do it the right way. The way I look at it is, you're almost exchanging that $5,000 or $10,000 for an ROI of them actually paying you later that double that. So you'll probably make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 down the road just for investing in a mentor or coach, because they time collapsed it. They had you save all that time and money and mistakes, and now you're on your way with a legitimate hybrid program to where you can sit there and start making money, and that's where you get that ROI from having that coach or mentor. So that's what I would say. That's why we do these workshops. That's why we're doing it. In a couple of weeks in Newport Beach. Looking to help people out with this and spread the awareness with it.
Yeah, very well said. So if you are, in the Southern California region and you are not doing anything, July 20th for 3 hours of your day, come to our workshop. Or if you know anybody, pass along the word, because if you've been to our workshops, they're very, very hands-on. They're very practical. Like I said, you guys will leave with something, once we're done. And, our job as, educators and mentors is just to really just, help you see the possibilities of, what is possible out there within the realm of building a business, your coaching business, serving your clients. And at the end of the day, you have to look at it is that you're not in the fitness business, right? You're in the business of helping clients, serving clients, solving their problems, right? That's what it's all about. And you're in the business of coaching, right? And teaching people. So that's just the way I like to look at it. So that's pretty much all I have to say. Got any last words?
That's a good way to end it, man. Besides it, if you're a fit pro right now, personal trainer, gym owner, virtual and audio fist pump to you guys, because you guys are the true game changers and the life changers, in my opinion.
And you guys are going to see the light at the end of the tunnel and make the bigger impact going forward. I truly believe that.
So that's all I got, and hopefully this hybrid model episode helped out.
That's pretty much it.
That's a wrap.
All right, guys. So until next time, go out there, live a dynamic lifestyle. Share this podcast out to anybody that would benefit from it. We truly appreciate it. Much love, guys. Cheers. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. If you guys want more access to podcast interviews and videos just like this, make sure to click the link below so you guys can check out all the other episodes that we have. Also, if you're a personal trainer, a gym owner, or a fitness professional, and you're looking to take your business online, make sure to check out the link below and join our Online Fitness Coaches Personal Mentorship Program. In this program, we actually have 2 live trainings. The first live training is with Eric and I, and we actually teach you guys about sales, marketing, persuasion, social media, how to be a better online fitness coach. And the second live training is with an expert that teaches you stuff just like that, what I just mentioned. Okay, so if you guys are interested in that and also creating more income, influence, and impact and taking your business online, make sure to check out our Online Fitness Coaches Personal Mentorship Program. We'll see you on the inside.